and welcome to the Kid and Friends podcast. Today, I am joined by two of my good friends, Mike Morpurgo and Phil Stassi. How are you guys?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Very good.
Real quick, today, I went and got 2 new tattoos, right? And I've been to this woman so many times. Her name's Melissa at Evolution Inc. Great chick. Every time I go there, we talk dogs, we talk everything else. Somehow the unalome, the one I got on my arm, came up. We got in this long, convoluted conversation about awakenings and all kinds of stuff. Like one of the things that came up, and we can come back on this later, was you ever see somebody who had a past life regression, right? And somehow there's somebody famous, right? It never occurred to me, because she's talking about souls while we were talking. Like, if you go into the ocean and pick up a cup of water, and that's your life, and you take it, you pour it out, right? And you go get some more of the ocean, right? There's still a little water left in there. So it's not the full person that is who related to whoever, Genghis Khan or whoever it is. It's just they have a portion of that soul in them, if that makes sense.
Homeopathic.
Yes. But then we were talking, she said there was a movie called What the Bleep something that I have to watch.
Yes, it's called What the Bleep Do We Know?
And what is that about?
So, that's a great movie.
She couldn't describe it either.
It's a great movie.
She said it's a movie.
It's hard to describe. So this was the person that was tattooing you?
Yes. Is this something all you artsy folk watch?
No, not.
I haven't seen it.
So this is great. You'll love this. So this movie came right at the exact moment that I got remote viewing.
You got remote viewing, understood it, or you were able to do it?
Of course.
Man. All right. So this goes. All right.
We're hot out of the gate right now.
Why not?
All right. In 1993, my brother and I were.
It was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. In 93, we were.
Sun was setting.
We were on the road, and so my brother was till the day he died. So my brother was born November 22nd.
Okay.
The day Kennedy was shot.
Yeah.
So he had his whole life affinities toward
Kennedy.
Conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Not Kennedy, conspiracy.
Right.
Grassy Knoll. We got to go there. We went to the Grassy Knoll on one of his birthdays.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so this was that same year. And this guy came to us and he was like, let's listen to Art Bell. Yeah. So Coast to Coast, Art Bell.
You know.
No.
Oh,
Art Bell was, he was like the first AM radio talking about.
I know the name.
And he was broadcasting from somewhere near Area.
Oh, okay.
51.
Gotcha.
And he disappeared, somewhere in the 90s. And
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy came to us and was telling us about how he's like, I call into Art Bell all the time. I know people, blah, 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 blah. And so my brother was like, all right, then what do you know about remote viewing? And
Yeah.
he was like, well, I haven't done it. Like, there's a course
Yeah.
that you can take. And we were
And
like,
back then, there's not really any internet. Is it is it in the
CDs,
back of like a comic book?
nothing.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's 6 weeks, you two can have psychic powers.
That's how I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my brother's frothing over it. And I'm like, no way, dude. I was like, so flash forward 2003,
Yeah.
my mom had just passed. And Annie and I she went to an auction and she was talking to somebody and she's telling me about this person's talking about remote viewing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. She's like, what the hell is this? And I was like, let me tell you. So we go in this whole thing about it. And of course, Annie researches everything and finds, it's like, I found the course.
The same course.
This course. And it's on CD.
Okay.
So we get it. And it's like, it's a course. It's like one of those, CD, 12 CDs and 40 hours in a workbook. And it was awesome. It was fun.
Did you get a certification or something? And were you able to use it?
So I went through it.
Yeah.
So I went through it, and it's like, man, it's intense.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you know, I mean, like doing what you do, like it's that thing of like, you don't like, oh yeah, I'll go kick around and lift some weights and work out. Like, no, it's like it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
So I knew a lot about it. In the sense of hearing about it and being, but it was intense. It was heavy.
But here's my question.
So I put it aside.
Yeah.
Oh.
My brother passes.
Right.
My sister-in-law comes to Dylan's wedding.
Yep.
And she's like going through my bookshelf and she's like, and I was like, you see it? And she was like, grabbed it.
Yeah.
She's like, can I? And I was like, absolutely. So she has been on it since February.
Wow.
She loves it.
But she's also a Monroe Institute fan.
Yes.
Right? Which is, that's
Monroe. What are you doing, boy?
Monroe.
Jim J. Bullock was not involved. But Monroe Institute is...
It's funny that we all had a fucking voice.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And the Jim J was like, I was a good reference.
Jim J. Bullock?
Yeah. So what were you saying? What were you saying?
That the Monroe Institute has different classes on remote viewing as well.
Oh, okay.
So I think that she was already tuned into it, and she was experimenting. And,
but she's been, and I mean, it's remote viewing is cool as shit.
But what did you see? That's what I want. Like, were you able to?
I was using an app for the last few months, a remote viewing app, and it would give you a picture or it would give you a number, and you could draw with your finger on the screen what you thought it was. Right. And then,
there's a whole process.
But the next day they would reveal the picture. And when you do your viewing, there's like a 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah.
And you draw your picture and then it asks you how confident you are.
Yep.
Probably. So there's 3 test questions every day, like just for fun. Like you could get the answer right away. And then there was one real one. Like and then none of them were harder than the other ones.
Right.
I would always get the 3 test ones. Like all the time. Like almost every time. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And then I would do the main one and I would maybe get it 50% of the time. But I'm still happy with that.
So I think
it's amazing.
It's funny because they would talk about how like, soon we'll be able to blah, blah, blah. And you'll be able to do this at home and pace it better, differently. It's funny that you say that because now I think about it, the whole program was that.
Yeah.
Like, so it was, I just felt like, man, I was on.
Right.
And I couldn't commit to being like, there was no like playing around or testing.
Yes. So the app gives you all that opportunity, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But so what was your testing? Like, what would, like, I think
that's what I mean. It was
brilliant.
Like they had a workbook. You had to sit down, you had to listen.
Like, what if you're the guy running it and nobody ever passes anyway? So you're just, whatever they draw, you're like, you nailed it. Like every time.
It's funny too, because like I would go straight for that with my brother.
Yeah.
And he would just be like, right, exactly.
Did Kevin do it? Did he remove you?
Yeah.
And was he good at it?
Yeah.
Because it's a skill. Like whatever it is and however you do it, you have to practice.
Kev was really interesting like that because he always was like, there's an expert for everything, right? And I'm not fucking them, and neither are you.
Yeah.
So
was he an older or younger brother?
Older.
Okay.
Briefly, less than 2 years.
But instead of him introducing you to porn, it's introducing you to like mysticism and everything else.
All that.
He was a big mysticism guy.
He used to read J.R.R. Tolkien to me when I'm like, he taught me how to read.
Okay.
Like, and he would be like, "Don't read this stuff. That's baby shit." Like,
was he an artist type?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay. Do you have any other brothers or sisters?
No, just Kev.
Okay, but you guys are very similar in like spirit.
Yeah. We were very, in the where we were raised, how we were raised, all that. Like we were just like, we were each other's, besties. And then, we went from that and then like we left school and just went and just kept doing art and music.
That's awesome.
So that was it. And I was 20 when we got a record deal.
Okay. Yeah, you got it young, right?
So it was just always there.
Okay.
It's like, okay.
So you're always around it.
And I was a dad.
Yeah.
I had a kid when I was 18. when I was 20.
Yeah, you look great for 30.
It's pretty good for 35.
So you're on this journey with your brother, and then that movie presents itself to you. What the bleep?
So back to your movie. Yes. So that stuff was in my life. It was there, right? So Annie was researching the remote viewing stuff, and she's all there. And someone says to us, "Hey, did you ever see the movie What the Bleep Do We Know?"
Yeah.
And
I'm watching it tonight, I think.
You should totally watch it. And I was like, "What is it about?" And they were like, "Really hard to say."
It's the same thing she did.
And there
same
was
thing you did.
There was somebody else standing there though, and they were like, "You know what? It's a really awesome play on quantum. Like if you want to understand like quantum physics."
She started to tell me about it. She's like, "You're better off just watching it."
And that was what they said though. But they were like, "It's a really like soft play." But they were like, to give you an idea, it just gives you that concept of, and it's all about like time and time rips and the illusion of like everything is here until it's unseen.
She's talking to me about this movie, and she starts mentioning another guy who wrote some books. And she starts to talk about where this guy would take water and freeze it. And dude, I swear to God.
And do the
same exact shit that he does.
I'm slightly different, but yes.
Wait,
do you color in there?
There's all kinds of, I don't even know, but she was talking to me about it. And the thing that came up in the conversation, I want to come back to this part, but the thing that started the conversation was we were talking about tears. Like I was talking about how I went on a journey a few weeks ago, and like I just had tears coming out of my one eye the whole time.
Only one eye?
Only one eye. And she's like, did you know that different emotions, the tears have different chemical compounds?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Never occurred to me. Like happy tears are different from sad tears, and just the whole chemical composition of them is completely different depending on what your emotion is.
I had no clue.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It's like it's purging it through your body, whatever that emotion is.
Well, what does the one eye tearing signify?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't think it signifies. I mean, I think it's
He's
just.
had it too.
I think it's just as biological as the emotions.
Yeah, I was on a journey, like I was talking about. Like I wasn't sad.
Yeah,
I wasn't crying, but it was just leaking out of my eye. And one of the other guys I was with, his eye did the same thing for about 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, but she's talking to me about this stuff, and I said, "Hold on a second, let me pull out this page on Instagram," and I show her his, and she's like, "Oh my God, that's so much the same." But the thing that came out of the conversation with the long story is, we got to a point where more people are going through some sort of an awakening than any time in our lives that we can ever remember.
Yep.
And more people are open to talk about it. And the thing that she said to me, she said, "I don't usually." She's a show me yours, I'll show you mine kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. But now it's a lot of people that are showing you mine first, right? Where they're okay to talk about it, and they're kind of they're not candy coating whether they think it's weird or somebody else thinks it's weird. They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think it's that it's like you experience something awesome and you want to share it. You're just like, especially when it's, friends or people from your community or circle, and you're just like, I had this thing that I really want to share. And I think that was my brother. He had some of these kinds of experiences through his life because he was open to it. Yeah. Or he was just very willing to be.
Were your parents like that too?
Parents, my parents were like, my dad was military. Okay. And, but military, not by like, hey, we're going to be this. He was military to try and like buck the system, get around things. Yeah. But he was definitely raised us, in the not like anarchistic, but like in the question everything.
Okay. But also don't deny yourself something if you get an answer to it.
Yes.
I think it was more about the questions with your dad.
Oh, I mean, yes. I mean, my dad was always about the question, like where it was just like, well, there's more. Yeah. Like there's just, and just because that guy says that, like we'll find out why he said that.
But was he a spiritual type?
No.
Mom?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
they were kind of like yin and yang. Okay. And so whatever you got from your brother, he got some of that from mom as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. My mom was, no, my mom was, she's Christian. She was Catholic.
Yeah. You can still be Christian and be spiritual.
No. And what I'm saying though is that like there's kind of what you're talking about, the show me yours
Yeah. Okay.
thing. You know, like she was raised staunch Irish Catholic in Ireland.
Okay.
You know, 12 brothers and sisters
Yeah.
and the whole deal. And like, and then came here and then, you know, married a New Yorker and they were Catholic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were Catholic and they had no idea. No idea. My grandfather
Yeah.
was as Jewish as could be, but their people were on the run for so long that by the time he was born, his father married an Irish girl
Wow.
in New York. And it was very, very convenient,
Yeah.
you know, to be awesome.
But a lot of people are wearing that shit on their sleeves these days.
Yes.
Right.
And I think it's like both. You have people that have like true heritage. They have grandparents that went through the Holocaust. So you have people that have like ties to the major religion. But then those people have passed on, and now a lot of the boomer generation is now starting, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
our parents, you know, like, so the opening up of it, I think is partially out of respect.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that are like, well, my folks are gone and I don't really do that, but I did it and I still do some of it because I love them and I love the traditions. And I raised my kids that way, and you held on to your own or whatever. But I think it is that, like, I think a lot of people, the awakening piece is about, you know, whether it's intermarriage or people traveling or.
Well, I think a lot of it anymore is like people are open to like the crazy shit.
Well,
right? The things that we would have thought was crazy years ago, right?
Exactly. It was all taboo before. Everything was taboo because we didn't know anything.
Like if I walk into a room with a bunch of guys and I'm like, hey, man, see that thing about the aliens? And they're all like, what the fuck are you talking
I've
about?
always been that guy, though, and I don't mind. I don't care,
Yep.
I mean, but it's changed.
Yes.
Like, it's mainstream.
That's what I'm saying. So like when I ran into Phil last year, I hadn't seen him in quite some time. And we started, I don't remember, I don't know why I can't remember this story, because in my mind, Phil's the one I'm talking to the whole time, but it's actually Hawny and Skabakis.
I was bilocating. I didn't even realize.
But we started talking about how my old podcast, he was asking me about it, and I said, oh, no, I have a new one. It goes, this is what it's more like these kind of things. And he's like, oh, shit. And then we started talking, and then we realized we're just about the same level of whatever that is. Yeah. And like, I quit drinking 5 years ago. Like you mentioned, quitting drinking as well. Mm-hmm. During COVID, I was overdoing it every day, right? But probably most of my life. Like there was 1 year, Phil and I probably spent about $10,000 each at the Rover.
Yeah. Totally. I remember those days, right? Too. Yeah, absolutely.
But the second I shut off the alcohol, my mind started to open. Yep. Did you have the same thing happen? And you still drink, so I don't know how you feel about it, but I noticed like the minute I cut it off, like my brain rewired itself.
Yep. So, and it's funny that you say like brain rewiring. Like so I got COVID. I didn't know I had COVID. I got really sick.
Yeah.
February of 20. And it just kept going. I wasn't getting well. And it was scary. And I was asking my doctor, I'm like, do I have that thing? And they were like, we wouldn't know if you do.
Yeah.
You just got to like take care of yourself. And I was sick. And I got well. And then COVID hit. The shutdown came. My best buddy died. And then I was like, it just was, like you said, like it was just depressing and, you know, and there was nothing to do. And it was just like, you know, eating and drinking.
Yeah. And then eat some more. Like anytime
more. And
I accidentally ate so many bags of Utz family sized chips.
Accidentally?
Accidentally, dude.
Like it just fell in your mouth.
Yeah.
I know, I did it.
Like you have a beer and you have some chips, you got to wash the chips down.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And how good do chips taste after you just washed them down with beer?
Pretty darn good.
Put some more in your mouth,
Yeah.
right? And then it's never in the cycle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's
Some
a problem.
goldfish and pretzels too.
But during that time, I started opening my mind. And Sush you remember Sush?
So wait, how far in did you stop drinking? Like into the pandemic?
In November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Yep.
So less than a year. But I was already going hard for it. And my reasons were different too. Like I had a family member get in trouble for some drinking. And I said, you know what? I'll be the bigger man. I'll quit with you.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Turns out I needed to quit. Right. And I was walking around like a hero for a fucking while. Like, oh, I quit for doing this, blah, 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 blah. And then one night, Sush and I were talking and we're like, his dad was passing away. So during that time, we would just walk his neighborhood.
Yep.
And just walk and talk. Like walk his dog and sometimes 3-4 hours at a time. And we started having all these kind of conversations. And we started getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm like, there's so much more to my mind than when I was drinking. And it felt so better. And then one day, he's talking about quitting drinking, and he's like, "Yeah, I probably needed to." And I just looked at him and was like, "You know what? I'm gonna have to admit that as well." And it took me a second. So, before, when anybody said, "Be like, oh, you quit drinking? You have a problem?" No, I didn't have a problem. I just have willpower, right? And it turns out I didn't have willpower. I needed to have a change, but my mind started opening. And so Phil and I run into each other, and then Hawney's in the conversation, and then my podcast somehow turns into that. Yeah. And now Phil and I are talking all the time again, and he's like, "You got to watch this movie, Age of Disclosure," right? And I'm like, "Okay." I've been ignoring it because I was thinking it was just one of those just dumb, not a dumb documentary, but some guy just put it together. But then I noticed Marco Rubio was in it. Like he's a high level. I don't even know what he does. But there's so many well-known people in it.
Well,
that are open to talking about it.
We were talking about remote viewing, right?
Yeah.
Hal Puthoff is in there with Dr. Eric Davis. Hal Puthoff, gray-haired, silver fox kind of a dude.
Yeah.
Older, super smart.
What's his name?
Hal Puthoff.
Okay.
And he was responsible for the Stanford Research Institute remote viewing program.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
So he's been dabbling in a lot of paranormal stuff for a long time. He knows a lot and really can't say much.
Did you like what you saw? Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching, I was kind of half paying attention to it. I was listening to it because I was struggling with this shit like I did before tonight. I was doing it last night too. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, definitely was struggling, but I was paying attention to it. And one of the parts of the conversation they were talking about was how if there is something here, in which there is, they're saying, and it's been here a long time, or they've been here a long time, it's not necessarily above water level, and it might be deep in the ocean.
Yeah. Because
so much of the planet is actually ocean. Like we think we're the dominant one, but really life is under the water.
Right. I mean, think about it. 70+%
right.
of the globe is water, but then
we're the anomaly of nature.
And of that 70%, 60% of the ocean is unknown.
Yeah.
Like it's just unknown. I mean, there's so many things that they have now to go and test, but they're just there's full-blown mountain ranges that are twice the size of
Mount Everest. Right?
Down there.
But so I'm always thinking that
the life that's down there.
Like we're the apex, but we're not. We're not even close. We're if you look at the amount of life that's under the sea compared to what's above it.
Yep.
Like we're such an anomaly, and it's like that same thing where we used to think we were the center of the universe.
Yep.
Like we're not even part of life on this earth according to everything else that's down there.
Yeah.
Well, what's trippy is that
we're just another biological phenomenon.
Yeah.
So we don't even know what's down there.
Yeah, no clue, and we'll never know.
But what's interesting with all of the non-human intelligence that they talk about, right? 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, right? So our archetype is something that and again, it's a theory, beings that are not necessarily in the sea are similar to us, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And they've changed all the language, which I find interesting, right? No more UFO, now it's UAP. No more
which
aliens.
Is unidentified aerial phenomenon?
Anomalous phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
anomalous.
Anomalous.
Yeah, regardless, friggin' UFO.
Yeah.
Right? But with Freedom of Information Acts and that kind of good stuff, if you were to try and get information on UFOs now, you couldn't get it because they're
Right.
not writing things up and classifying it as UFOs anymore.
Yeah, it could be anything. I mean, look at all the drones we had last year. Like, you
Right.
still don't know what the hell all that stuff
and
was.
nobody's talking about it. Nobody's
No.
willing to talk about it because whoever, whatever money, power, whatever it is, some entity is saying like, we can't talk about
Yeah. And then, like,
that. Or now, or it's a big game of like, we don't know what you're talking
have you met people that think we're the only thing out there?
Yes.
It's
crazy.
How do you feel about them when they say stuff like that? Like for me, if you just do the math, right? In the Milky Way, there's trillions of stars, right? And then there's trillions of Milky Way type galaxies, and all of those have black holes, and all of those have planets and stars that go around those. Like, just the math wise, like there's there's more likely to have life out there than not.
We have a. I mean, I personally, I think it's a problem, and it's a problem in this country, which is that like we have a glut of that. We have a lot of people that think like that.
Yeah,
they don't think past that. They don't think past what these belief systems that they're not breaking on them. And there's so many people, and they'll go to these places, but then they'll stop.
Yeah.
Like they'll stop and they'll cite things. And that's what I mean. It's just like when people start citing the Bible as a historical document, that's when you have to, like you said, like, wait, like I have to do math here.
Yeah.
Like I have to do math. And it's just like, that is a wonderful like book.
It's a beautiful book.
But it is
it's X amount of years old.
Yeah. And
right?
it's just like, and it's from a whole bunch of political and
but that's
other people decided what that book was going to be.
That's our ignorance now too. Like most people don't want to believe that there was other life, like long before us, intelligent life that's been gone and wiped away many times.
You know what? Since this is, guys, like my
field of expertise.
No, this is I'm saying I'm actually admitting like this is my my virgin. I'm a virgin. This is my first podcast. So
okay.
So I in podcast world, like holy fuck, like flat Earth and like moon deniers. And stuff
there's
like that.
so much out there.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like that needs to stop. Like that is a line of stupidity that like no, I mean it prevents us from evolving into like. Because that's what I'm saying. Like you just like
makes me insane. Like either one of you guys watched that show was Ancient Apocalypse that was on.
Yeah.
Right? No.
But
yes.
You haven't seen it?
No, I really didn't.
For real?
Wait, Graham Hancock?
Yeah. On Netflix.
Okay, yeah, I have seen that. I thought you were. Never mind.
That was amazing.
So like,
I've never heard it called Ancient Apocalypse. It's that Graham Hancock show.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like. They Göbekli Tepe, right? It's like 45,000 years old or something like that.
Yep.
They just found the oldest building ever. I think it was like 230,000 years old.
Exactly.
Right? And like we got stuff like the pyramids. Nobody knows what the fuck they are or how they got there.
Exactly.
And they're shit underneath them.
And they're still finding more things.
Yeah. Like we've been either whisked away or blown up or whatever, like so many times. So people don't believe that like people can't wrap their head around how old the universe is, but they also can't wrap their head around how big it is and the other things that are out there. And like things are infinitely big, but they're also infinitely small. Like go all the way down to the biome in your body. That probably has some biome in that, and then just keep going down and down and down. Exactly. And go the other way with us. Like we might be just the tiniest little drop of whatever.
Yep.
Nuts.
That's what the movie. Boom. There you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it takes you. Exactly.
But, so when Phil said like you got to watch this movie, like they're talking about aliens, like what are the things that you guys took from it that like there had to be something that was shocking that like never occurred to you before, you didn't think about it, or you were just already know how this movie's going to go.
I look at that movie. I think it's wonderful because it's getting people to talk about the situation.
Show me yours. Back to that.
Yeah.
Like, people are showing stuff.
That's exactly what it is.
But there was nothing shocking in there. Like I knew the bulk of everyone that was.
Do you think that movie's for a guy who's like you, who's always trying to be in tune on it, or is it for newbies?
Newbies. Or I actually not not brand newbies. I think it's I think it could. I think it's good to bring people into the fold,
right? Because you're clearly unimpressed with it, the way you're speaking.
No. I'm very impressed with it,
but I'm impressed where you didn't get shocked by anything.
Nothing was shocking, but I think it's a psyop. It is a way that they're able to control the narrative in order to ease people into the thought that there's more to this,
rather than just pulling the curtain down and showing us what's there.
Yeah. Because they talk about the shock, right, under one of the Bush administrations, right, that they were going to potentially disclose. And they had over 60 different bullet points that they were checking, and it would have been too overwhelming for humanity. So they opted out. But now this is, I think, part of the easing in.
Do you think that's like that well thought out? Like, do you think it's the government that's doing that kind of a thing, or just people in the know?
I don't think the government knows, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
You have to define non-human intelligence, right? You have to define them, they, right? I think the universe is much stronger in terms of life and stranger than we can ever imagine. I don't think that they can define it easily and just say, oh yeah, there's, us and the Greys.
Yeah.
That's not believable either.
Well, the specifics of that, but you were saying as far as like the movie, I think it is a bit of a psyop.
Okay.
I think it might have a certain line of not disinformation, but just like
just leading you down a wrong path of
or
crumbs that might be right,
or just holding you in a holding tank. Like, here, I'm going to give you this information. It's not super salacious, but it does answer some things. It does give everybody. I noticed the main talking point was we're not alone.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that though. I'll wait.
I mean, it was.
You didn't hear that?
It was there, like you said. Like there was a few, congressional people. There was a few, like really awesome scientists and physicists that were just like right on. But I still felt that there's always going to be a bit of Project Blue Book.
Yeah.
Like where the government or some body, a governing body, right, is going to be like, all right, no matter, even if it's bullshit behind it, we're holding the curtain. We decide when and how much it's going to be.
But isn't everything kind of a psyop anymore? Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I use this example a lot lately where
feels like it.
My YouTube algorithm. Right, it's pretty fucked. Like you were looking at mine, like you're like, "Hey, that's like mine," right?
But we're watching the same stuff.
But a lot of the stuff I get fed is violence and politics.
Sure,
right?
But everybody
I don't get any. No, I don't get
everybody is. Well, you know what though?
No,
because you had to consciously do that.
That's what I'm getting at. And on my other account, which is my podcast account, I was listening to Joe Rogan. He was talking about a curated feed, and what it meant to have a curated feed because he's got all this stuff that's put in there that he never searched for. And I started like, oh, okay, let me pay attention to that. Then I looked at my one and I looked at the other, which was more of a new account that I never use and I don't search for shit on it.
Yep.
Showing me violence, showing me racism, showing me politics.
They want to see what what are you hanging out on?
But I started hitting the button where I said, don't show me this anymore. And it worked for about like a month. And then it started going again.
Yep.
And then it started going again. So I have a side theory aside from what we're talking about the aliens, because, excuse me, AI is in charge of a lot of these algorithms.
Well, yeah, they write.
What if it's already way smarter than we think it is, and it's intentionally just making people nutty?
Well, it's definitely a tool to make people nutty.
Look,
for sure.
And I mean, like it's you say that, and it's like it's way easier than you might think.
Yeah.
To algorithmically make someone nutty.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's really not that hard because like the stuff that they're doing, like it's it's all like super tested out. Like
Yeah,
through,
but here's the thing.
you know,
AIs, they're getting smarter and smarter and smarter about it, and they're using it in a lot of the things that help determine what you're seeing.
oh my God,
Right? It's using whatever people learned,
this is
but now it's feeding you all that shit, and people are going nuts.
this is how AI was born.
Yeah.
I mean, it was born out of, you know, and that was so when Google asked, you know, in 1999 and 1999 to 2001, they ran a contest.
Yeah.
And it was
That the
find a word that hasn't been searched.
Oh,
I know what it is.
Well, there wasn't. So I worked in a library.
did you ever watch the documentary with the Go game?
Yes.
AlphaGo, I think it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good. So-
And that's like what happened then was, you know, they were trying to build a search engine,
Yeah.
but the psyops was that this was all part of, you know, the beginnings of what they knew was going to be the new internet,
Yeah.
which they'd already been working on for a good 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, okay, this is great. They didn't know what social media was going to be or what that was,
Right.
but they definitely knew exactly how to time, program, and things like pictures. Like,
Yeah.
how long did they wait? How long did they look at that picture? What
Right.
did they do? And then
Yeah.
like as it grew, and so
How many times have you gone on a website, not logged in, not done anything, and put some stuff in the cart, and then you get a message a few minutes later from that website, like, "Hey, you forgot about this over here." I'm like, "Well, I didn't give you my information, motherfucker."
how many times have you guys talked to somebody recently and they say, "You're not gonna believe it. Me and my husband, we were,
We were talking about
right, and our phones were nowhere around. Siri wasn't. We were outside. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Sure thing. I go, and a day later, there it is. I'm surfing. Look, you know.
Yeah.
Annie does it to me. She'll come in. She'll be like, "That."
Do you think,
Yes,
do you
but-
think something's watching everything that happens?
It's not so much. Well, so here's the thing. Like you said, the AI, the algorithm. You know, the AI is just. It only can do what it's told. So
Yeah.
it's just programmed. And that's the same thing. The algorithm is just a program. So
But there's
mirror.
always data being
They-
collected. There's always
Yes.
something like I have a friend
Yes.
that works for Google. He could get into your phone right now if he
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to.
and probably
Right.
like on all
But
your accounts.
What's the movie with Jim Carrey where everybody's watching him?
Oh,
Truman Show,
Truman Show.
right?
Yes.
Like I was in my bathroom last night jacking off, and I had my PlayStation in front of me, or not my PlayStation, my iPad,
Your Oculus.
and there's a camera on it, right?
Right.
And I
You're
always
like-
wonder if like somebody's just tuning in to watch me go at it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. That was one of the first like really big what's that called when they go after you like cyberbullying like
Shit.
the scams, you know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like that was one of the first ones was the we have your
Yes.
we have pictures of you on those.
What's wrong with those people too that have to do that all day?
Isn't it crazy? But how
What kind of a person are you?
because they were like, how easy is it? All we have to do is send this to men.
Yeah.
And like the
could
80% of them are going to be like, you saw what? Wait, I never did that.
Here's 1,000, right? But
Here's-
it could be some part of that same psyop,
Yes.
right? Where it's just people fucking with people all day long.
Absolutely. Well, listen, and there's no, it's not a coincidence that Google is the biggest fucking thing in the goddamn world.
Yeah.
That was all very well planned out. Very, very, very.
Oh yeah. All this stuff. But we're talking about the movie, and they're saying, oh, it's in the bottom of the ocean, and there's all this other stuff, and then you guys think it's a psyop. Like it's hard to figure out what the fuck to believe in anymore.
Well, but what's interesting is Mike said he heard, we're not alone.
Yeah.
What I
In
heard
that.
is that it's a national security risk. It's a risk. We don't know what it is.
I heard
It's a
Tiffany.
risk.
I think we're alone.
Oh,
I
I think we're
love that
alone now?
jam.
Yes.
yeah.
But, so he understood that you're not alone, or we're not alone, and you took it a whole different route.
I listened to it's all military and it's all Congress, and I think they can use it a few different ways, right? They can go down the path of we need more money.
Yeah.
We need more money to fund XYZ so they can filter more into gray and black projects. But I really do think that they're just controlling the narrative as best they can, because the amount of evidence that we're not alone is overwhelming.
It is.
It's overwhelming, right? The other interesting thing, whether it was the Go Fast or the Tic Tac, right? All that stuff isn't captured by the Air Force. That's captured by the Navy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Air Force is quiet on all this stuff.
Yeah, you don't hear anything from them.
So, it'd be interesting to find out what they have and is there corroborating evidence.
But who's the one that has to control the narrative, though, right? Like I always have these like weird thoughts, like let's say there is life under the ocean, like as far as intelligent
USOs,
and maybe all the people in charge of all these countries report to them at the end of the day, like, and then there's somebody else above that guy. Like,
that's you start going into the Illuminati. That's what that is all about. Is that there's a trilateral committee, and there's three. There's three people and three families and three, and it's all one concept, and it's, and
it's
you're
the
right.
New World Order.
And the spin-off of that that's why Q exists, is that like, once the internet came, 4chan made it possible for all of that stuff to come to life.
What is 4chan exactly?
I was just going to ask that.
So,
isn't that like sharing files or something?
So 4chan,
I don't think it's monitored, right? It's like
4chan is like, that's deep. That's like, that was the deep net.
Okay.
And so 4chan is where any conspiracy that's alive right now, anything, it started there. And that's where it was. And like, so all the folks that were UFO, the UFO people, like anybody that was into any conspiracy pre-internet,
went to
they
4chan?
found their way to 4chan, and they all found their freaky groups. Then there was also, really dark stuff going on, and trade and sales, and the beginning of the internet. And so, and I remember Kevin would just be like, and he was overseas already, and he would be like, and he would say, I'm not even gonna tell you the site. I'm not even gonna fucking show you.
This is your brother.
Yeah, he'd be like, I'm not even gonna fucking show you. This shit will fuck you up, man.
Did he show you?
No. Like he did.
Because I would have said that and then like, I gotta show you anyway.
It's so funny, man. My brother was like, he was a big brother when it came to that stuff.
Okay.
And he knew that I could, he was not good at computer stuff. I showed him how to do it, and I showed him how to do all that stuff. So like he knew that I could go and find it. And he knew that I knew that shit existed, and I was like, I don't want no fucking part of it. Yeah. There's snuff porn out there too. I'm just like, I don't want no part of it.
How much of the internet is just bullshit?
Dude,
most of it.
99% of it is bullshit.
That's a silly question.
No, but you think about it. Like, remember when you first had like America Online?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and you were happy. You were happy to get mail from somebody. It was great. It was such a good feeling, right? Yeah. Like somebody thought enough about me to send me a message. Let's see what it says. You know what? I'm going to reply, right? And then you would wait a half hour for a picture of a chick's tits to download. Yeah. Right? Like you just had all this stuff, and then
what was it?
Pixelation.
Wait. So I had all my shit fucking got fucked up and early.
Yeah.
So I was like so disenfranchised with the music industry in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I am going to do electronics. And I was like, I'm just going to fucking build pedals and gear and nerd stuff. And just like make a studio. And my mom was like, you really should go get your degree. I was like, Mom, I am not going to college.
Yeah.
And she was like, go back. It would be great. And I'm like, go back. I went for like a year. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn about computers.
Yeah.
Enter Richard Crosby.
Oh, wow.
So my mom's best friend, her husband, is a NASA scientist.
Okay.
And so he was, retired NASA scientist, and he's this total fucking math nerd. He's the guy that built the centrifuge over in...
Oh, okay. Mormister.
Yeah.
Okay.
his math is the math that made that thing. So all the Apollo missions,
Yeah.
that was his math. So
This is your mom's friend?
It's my mom's friend's husband. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they lived in Neshaminy
Is he still
Woods.
around?
He passed away 2022. Yep.
Is Mrs. Crosby still alive?
Yeah. Yep.
And what kind of stuff did you guys talk about?
He was
Really?
that guy was fucking incredible. He was a genius. He
Was
so
he was he
smart.
one of those guys that's so smart he doesn't know how to communicate, or was he one of
No.
those guys who's personable too?
He was personable.
Those are the best kind.
He was a teacher. He was like he was.
I have to
just,
pick
like,
one.
He was great with like, and that's like, I was horrible. You know, like we didn't know, and I was dyslexic, and I didn't know all of like. I just knew I was like, oh man, I can't. And so of course it was like, I want to do computers, and then it was like, oh my god, it's all. So
but
he
did
was,
you start seeing all the darkness early in it?
Well, he was
And-
like, he's like, let me help you, because he was like, I worked on those early big giant mainframe
Yeah.
computers. He's like, I want to see this micro stuff. He was amazed by it. He helped me with the math. I got all certified. I did great at it.
Yeah.
And then I got into security.
Okay.
And I had a friend who got me a job working over at Pfizer
Okay.
in North Jersey. And went up there and I met these guys, and like it was all these fucking tech guys, you know, like
Right.
they were all hockey hair, like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Neckbeards?
there was a few neck beards.
Okay. You gotta have
But-
one if you're in IT.
Yeah. I
Right?
mean, they
And
were like,
especially IT security.
and these were, and this was like, you know, 1999.
Okay.
Like right before Y2K. So these guys were all like, yo, man, fucking shit's going down.
Yeah.
Y2K.
End of the world.
Yep. So they were like, they thought they were like running everything. But anyway, these guys were the ones that were like, they were cool, but they were just like, dude, internet fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they were like, you're a musician, man. Like, why are you doing this? You know, like, get the fuck out of here. Go fucking,
Yeah.
you know.
But
go
they saw the evil in it.
they were like, dude, it's fucking, because they were all gamers and
Yeah.
they were all into the internet,
Right.
but they were these fucking nerd kids. And so they were just like, they were just like, dude, stay. And they were like, stay the fuck away from 4chan.
Do you guys ever reminisce, like, because we're that last generation?
Yes,
Like,
we are.
do you
We're the
ever-
crossover.
Do you ever reminisce for the days where none of this was available?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So wait,
All
this
the
is
time,
awesome.
right?
Dude, this is
Uh-oh.
like segue. Shit, this is great. This is like, so now I get to do, this is the part where I give gifts.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, man. Fucking,
Is this Hanukkah or Christmas?
that's what all of it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
all of them. So, all right. So, what was your question? Do you?
Reminisce.
Reminisce for a pre-internet time
yeah.
where there was no cell phones, no GPS, no nothing.
Awesome. So, this right here, vinyl record. It was in 1991. This was recorded.
Is this your band?
This is Dandelion, yeah.
So in 91, this was recorded. We made, we had our
That's not
own-
you singing, is it?
That's Kevin.
It's Kevin.
Oh, it's your brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So were you like the heavy metal Jonas Brothers?
Yep. Exactly. We were just like,
Bop.
we
Had
were
nothing on them.
fucking Donnie and Marie, man. We were like,
Yeah. What kind of music is it?
it's, you know, it's funny. It's
Well, I
like,
know you're talented, so I'm not sure what your band was, though.
no, this is great.
No,
so
this
like,
is
we,
funny.
we took, you know, we kind of went, we were just a hard rock band. You know what I mean? Like we were Sabbath and
They
you
were
know,
metal.
and Ozzy.
Okay,
We were like
so metal.
real hard rock,
Yeah.
metal.
But-
And it was, at the time, it was, you know, that was the grunge era. So it was like Soundgarden and stuff were like all, that was happening.
Yeah. So
So-
you're living an amazing time in music as part of it.
Yeah, and we were just like a band, and we were like cool, and we had our own 8-track reel-to-reel
Yeah.
recorder that our guitar player got, you know, for his 15-year-old, you know, Christmas and whatever, and like so we had recording gear. Dante, our drummer, local Pendale dude, who you know he worked at Big A Auto Parts, and the boss was like, "You guys can jam in the back, all right?" You know,
Nice.
And we used to go jam there, and we had our little studio, and we recorded a demo, you know, and
Yeah.
we were like, we're going to make a cassette and we're gonna go fucking sell
Like just
this.
the innocence of the world, not
Yeah.
ruined by anything. Like not
Exactly.
not worried to take a no from somebody
Right. We were
because
just like, we're
because you
gonna-
wanted to be something so bad.
exactly. Like, let's just make music. And then,
Yeah.
you know, life kind of came out fast. I became a dad, and then it was like we were getting recognition. And so this little cassette that we made, we got this. It was like turn of events, and nothing digital. Somebody came out to a show that we played. Nobody showed up. It was like this big New York show that we were like, we got this gig, and we were there. There was a band playing. There was people there. I'm like, this is gonna be great. And like this, by the time we got on, fucking place was dead. Nobody's there. And there was like a couple people in the room. And one of the people in the room was the writer for the College Music Journal,
Okay.
which was the host of the festival.
Yeah.
And they wrote this review about the show, and they
Being
loved
the only
it.
ones in the audience.
And they were just like, this band played like they were at a stadium,
do you
and there was a
think
million people there.
That was the universe clearing everybody out for this dude.
It was weird, right? Like Phil and I have had this conversation.
Yeah.
I think about it because it
He wouldn't have had the
like,
same attention.
It's so weird, right? Like if it could have just gone by as just another band. It was funny because we were like, oh my God, there's nobody here.
Right.
And my brother was like,
Meantime,
what?
somebody was there.
yeah. And my brother was like, so what, man? Like, don't be a bunch of fucking pussies. Go
Yeah.
out there and play.
Fucking jam.
And we played, and we had a great show. And this dude wrote this review. And this is great because this is all analog, and this is where my life is right now.
And
You're going back to
I'm
analog.
in an analog world.
The funny part is like
And all
Mike
of
and I met
this-
each other when we were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, you were 5, I was 7,
Yes.
right? And we didn't realize we were doing a lot of different creative things. And then our parents realized that, oh my God, that's Mike Morpurgo. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But Mike has told me these stories, and it's also it's
So here's
surreal how things clicked for these guys.
here's
Because,
the article.
but I think
My
that-
eyes are so bad.
Yeah.
You have
And
to
it's-
give me the Cliff Notes.
and I will, and I'll send you. And so, but it's funny because it's just like a Xerox copy. It's a trade paper.
Yeah.
Like it was the College Music Journal, and it was all the college radio stations around the country would gather once a year.
Yeah.
And they would just be nerds and talk about bands and all the underground bands and all the new bands.
Or
and all the,
are all these guys like the type of like John Cusack and High Fidelity type?
yeah. No, they're totally. That's like what a great. They're exactly that. They know everything about it,
Yeah.
and like, and we would bump into these people, and they knew more about us. We're like, wow, that's really great. You actually listened to that
Yeah.
tape, and the guy writes this review that was just like, and it went out again at that time. So we saw it. Somebody read it to us.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, I'll send you a copy when I get it. Heard about it. And then like that weird thing where like all of a sudden like record companies started calling.
How
us.
weird is that at the time, because we're talking about a different time in life, where you're hearing these stories about things that people saw and told you about, but you can't get your hands on it, and it's about you.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
like-
exactly.
It's it's like
because-
waiting for your box tops that you bought the whatever toy with.
Yep.
Right? You got to fucking wait for weeks. Remember that? Like, it's the worst thing on the fucking planet. I'm waiting for Luke Skywalker with a real hand instead of fake hand.
That
right?
is so exactly
That
like
had,
you're saying.
how
those
had it
guys-
feel, right?
And there was, and everything was mail order,
Yeah.
right? Like we had a mailing list.
Mm-hmm.
They were like these were
Oh,
the
the
questions. So
mailing
the record company would be like, how many people you got on your mailing list? And we'd be like, oh well, our mailing list is and we would have postcards that we would
So
send out.
it's like
and,
their whole, like no emails, right? It's just the whole personal address.
No, and I was going through, grief is this for me. It's like, and so I became an archivist
Yeah.
because that's what we do when it's paper, tape,
Yeah.
and film. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you archive things. You're
Yeah.
just like, okay, well, I got to save that. And here's the VHS tape. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I got it from Super 8 to VHS,
Yeah.
And so we made the cassette because that's what we could afford.
Right.
And it was like a cassette tape was could afford. CDs were like way future. That didn't even happen quite yet. I mean,
Yeah.
it was out there, but people weren't making them. And vinyl was was bulky and it was expensive.
Yeah.
And people were turning on
And
it.
fragile.
And it was just, people were just kind of done with it. You know, it was 1991. Think about it. You were probably starting to buy CDs.
Yeah. I was just starting to get my CDs.
Your collection, right?
Yeah.
You're going from cassettes and so
One of my first
We
ones was
never did it.
CNC Music Factory.
dude, I
Make you
had
sweat.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I had the worst problem. Like I couldn't organize them.
Yeah.
My friend Rob Levy, he had the greatest cassette collection, and it was like, and he had one of those amazing.
They have one of the
like,
walls.
dude, and everything was alphabetized.
Really? Is he a little OCD?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Sometimes those guys are the best to like be friends with if you need to organize something.
Great guitar player too.
Yeah. I remember.
Yes, see, yep.
Yeah.
It's that. So anyway, we opted to make this cassette. The cassette is the thing that turns out that all these record companies want to sign us. We
Yeah.
finally signed with a record company.
Do you make the tape and then just distribute it yourselves?
The tape, yeah. Like we go, Disc Makers is the local place. We send it to them. They send us.
Do you just go to the first one? Like, because how many disc
No.
places
Yes.
are around?
Disc
There
Makers
was-
was it.
There was 3 in the area. There was
there
one in
3?
Bethlehem.
Really?
There was one in
yeah.
Philly, and there was one on the Jersey side. And the two in
All the
Jersey and Philly would
musicians.
fight with each other to
Yeah.
try and get, and you would make your tape, and then you just get in the van and you go play and
Yeah.
you sell your tape and you make
So all these
t-shirts
people start looking for you?
and then they started looking for us. Like it was like more people started showing up at shows, and we didn't have any more tapes. We were sold out. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, maybe we should get more tapes. And then, that's when like a record company was like, well, maybe you should make a record with us. And we were like, good. And,
Okay.
and then the, fast track.
What kind of deal do they give you
learning.
back then? Is it lucrative? Is it for your age? Is it lucrative?
It's interesting. I mean, that was another turning point. So if you remember, right, like funny, like CNC Music Factory, but like think about 1991 through like 94, 5, right?
Yeah.
And like, right, the hip hop was
Milli
getting really,
Vanilli.
so you had that,
Milli
you had Milli Vanilli,
Chris
right?
Cross.
You had the, like then there was like pop, but like you had
Yeah.
Public Enemy,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Cypress Hill came along.
Anthrax.
Snoop was there. You had Anthrax. And you had those guys
Mixing
doing
them together.
doing the crossover stuff, right? And like that was like really happening. Like there was a crossover in music, and you had bands like Primus that were like doing like weird
Wacky.
shit, wacky stuff. Whatchamacallit, the Lollapalooza, right?
Yeah.
The birth of that whole like eclectic festivaling and the Jim Rose Side Circus show.
Does that whole
like,
world suddenly open up to you?
Yeah. Like it was a weird opening because we were in that world, but we were like the lucrative part of it
Yeah.
was like didn't really
Did it matter?
change. It didn't matter for us because we took some side steps and we watched some people make some really bad moves
Yeah.
and like give away publishing.
Sure.
So we held that.
Like give away ownership rights to certain things.
Yeah, like someone was like, "Hey, we'll give you 50 grand right now,"
Yeah.
and like blah blah blah.
But you're
We'll
what,
split-
23?
Mhm.
So 50 grand at 23, that
know.
sounds pretty, that's like
You're
hitting
like,
a jackpot.
Yeah, and there was a lot of time. I mean, there was a lot of band fights and a lot of like
Yeah.
stuff. But we signed with a hip hop label to avoid
Yeah.
the big Nirvana rock and roll thing that was happening at all the major labels.
Okay.
Geffen and all these labels were
Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten any attention somewhere else.
right. Or we would have just gotten shelved. Yep. And just like put on a shelf and
Yeah.
stuck like, oh, well, they didn't.
See if we can fit you in when like
Yep.
comes around again.
And so it was cool because our guys were, they had the Fugees.
Yeah.
So they had money and they had
Criss Cross.
Cypress Hill and Criss Cross. So they
Okay.
had money coming in, but they also had like Schoolie D and they had Tim Dog and they had like some
Zen
the
Gorilla.
Goats and they just had some like really integrity stuff.
Yeah.
And they had a rock band. And so they loved it because they were like, "Ah, man, you guys tour."
Yeah.
and
We got our white guys in the band.
yeah. No, and they were
Right?
just
But
like,
it's an anomaly for them.
they loved it. and it kept them, you know.
And they were Philly. I'm sorry, they were Philly.
And they were in Philly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
They were,
That always helps too. But is that album the first
so
one?
This one, yeah. So this was the tape.
And is this the one that everybody found you with?
Yeah. And so I like then everything like let's flash forward to 2008.
Yeah.
And I am packing up my mom's house in Brownsville Road, and we're moving up to Doylestown area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going through all this stuff, and I open up a trunk in the attic, and there's a box of reel-to-reel tapes.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking shit. Pull it out. The masters for this.
Wow.
Holy shit, look
You
at
know
that.
how lucky you are that still existed and wasn't like rotted.
Yeah. And I mean, it was in bad shape, but it was real. It was there, and I was like, whoa. So I called Dante, and I was like, as a joke, it was right around his birthday. I was like, hey, come by the house. I was like, I got something for you. And he came by, and it was pretty fucked up, like the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, happy birthday. And I gave it to him, and he was like, oh, thanks. You know, and then he was
Was he not excited?
He didn't know what it was at first?
No, he knew what it was, but he was, it was just that thing of like, you know, he was like, yay, you know, what am I going to do with this? And seriously, I mean, think about it, 2008, like, question you're asking me right now really wasn't that apparent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he didn't give a fuck about the analog tapes that I had that, you know, whatever. It's, oh, cool, you know.
But it was a whole different time and a whole different way of living. Right. And
totally. And that's why
for you to be discovered during that time.
Yes.
Like, it's two extremes. Like, then, like, nobody would have been able to find you.
Right.
Now there's so much of it, nobody will be able to find you.
And that was, so, you know, we broke up in 97, and then, you know, it was done. And so flashing forward, like, here I am doing the rock schools thing, and I find it, I give it to him, I move, and it just kind of sits there. And then during the pandemic, I asked Dante, I'm like, hey, do you still have that?
Yeah.
And he was like, I do. So we found someone that had a machine, and we put it on there, and we were able to transfer one of the songs out. Some of the stuff was just like garbly, drop out, and got weird. We were like, this is cool, you know, and so it was like, that's neat. I guess we could fix that. And there was like talk, and some people were like, oh man, I want to like send it, you know, a couple friends, and like out in California, we're like, oh man, I would. And everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything. And so I was surfing around. This was flash back to probably like around that time, 2008 or 9.
Right.
And I went through this like kind of weird phase. Somebody had told me that they saw a bunch of comments. They're like, hey, did you ever go look at comments like on YouTube and stuff, your videos? And no, I never thought of that, you know. And they're like, pretty wild. And I was like, oh, should I do it? And they were like, oh yeah, it's not bad. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I did. I fell down a rabbit hole, and I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Was it real positive?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was trippy.
Is there a song in particular on that album that people resonate with, or was there one that you were really known for?
You know, there was a song that's not on here. There's let's see.
Which is the blues one with the harmonica? Is it Snake Belly?
This one, yeah. And there's like 3 songs on here that made it onto the major label record.
Yeah. Okay.
Ride is one of them, right?
Yeah, that we re-recorded.
In My Room.
And then on that record, which, you know, it did really mediocre. It did okay. We were fine with it. We made enough money to get them excited to make another record. Yeah. We toured for forever, it felt like. And, you know, it was a good run. The thing that happened was during the record got released, And then the label, the hip hop, rough house indie label got bought by Sony.
Ah.
So they still kept their kind of independence, but I mean, they were. It was just like now we were like, okay, Sony's here. But like within 2 weeks of that happening, they were like, maybe this band should go and like, maybe they should think about doing another record and like we'll just start. And we got on Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, you actually had a song on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And it was totally organic. Mike Judge liked it.
Yeah, he just decided to
put it on. And like, it was funny because I was the 6 months earlier, maybe a year, the exact same thing happened to Rob Zombie, White Zombie.
Do you explode out after that?
It wasn't an explosion, but it was a very pleasant.
Was it like one of those like high school volcanoes? Like it's just kind of over the top.
With the baking soda?
Well, yes. And the cool thing was that nobody hyped it up.
Right.
So when it happened, we were
like that volcano was erupting, but it's just not the way everybody thought.
But then we were like, oh, that was fucking cool. Like the way that erupted. Like, all right. We did. We found ourselves in a really good driver's seat. We owned everything.
Ah, that's smart.
We owned everything. And so that was where, this thing, so then flash forward, reading through these things, I met this person who they made a comment, and then I saw on Facebook there was this other person who had made a comment that I'd seen, same thing, and they were both Brits, and I'm like, this is funny and weird. They're both Brits, and my brother's over there, so I sent him the comments, and he was funny. He was like,
not so excited.
They're weird. And I'm like, oh, that's... Anyway, I contacted them.
Yeah.
And I've had this... They're both great people. But the woman was an engineer, a producer. And she was like... So I called her.
Engineering was so different back then, too.
Totally. And the reason... so we got to talking, and she was working at this studio. She was cutting vinyl live.
Oh, wow.
It was the craziest shit I'd ever seen. Like, they weren't rolling tape. They didn't have digital shit. They had their old board, and there was in the other room.
Direct to vinyl?
She was just singing right onto the vinyl.
They were like, the band was playing.
It's like Sun Records.
Wow.
It was the wildest shit. And I was like, what is... Anyway, she calls me right during the pandemic. I'm like, I want to do something with these tapes.
Yeah.
I called my brother. I'm like, we should do something with this. We really should. And she's like, our studio restoration.
Yeah.
Like, I want them. Give them to me. I was like, all right.
So the universe throwing her in there too.
Yep. And then I went to England. I brought her the tapes. Got to hang out with my brother and my nephews. And she did full restoration. So it's never been digitized. And then I got it back and I pressed vinyl of it. And
that's awesome.
So we kept the project. My brother passed away during the project, but I got to finish it. And that was the whole goal, was to keep it away. It's never been digitized. And
that's the beauty of it, right? It's that throwback to the analog time for you. And like I'm sure you feel that way, the same way I do. Like, I'll talk to my kids about music or TV shows, right? Like you would hear a song, and most of your friends have an experience probably with you during that song.
Yeah.
Right? Or you're going through something at the same time because that song was out.
Yeah.
None of the kids listen to the same shit anymore. So like there's no connection with the music.
And the way they receive their music.
Yeah.
It's in this like really weird random bit format.
Like being in a car and having to change the channels until everybody agreed that's what you wanted to listen to.
Right. Well, remember the
not because you had the aux.
Mixtapes, you'd wait for that song and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to make this for my girlfriend. You know what I mean? It was just like, you had to have the perfect.
But the transfer of knowledge was so much slower. Like people looking for you to find your band, or
even just to hear
waiting
about
to go to a show. Like
Yes.
being like, oh man, they're gonna be here then, and like
going to
camping out
Tower
the mall.
Records for a record release.
camping out at the mall for your tickets, right? At Pomeroy's or Macy's.
Did you do magazines?
Pomeroy's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read everything back in the day. Like,
Right? Like,
but it was nice because you would sit down and just have a quiet moment and read a magazine.
yes.
Right? Like there's no off time for anything anymore. It's just bombard you with about all the shit all day long, all day.
Yep.
And for me, like I get nostalgic when I see like old stuff.
Yeah.
Like just taking me back. And then I start to wonder, is it because I'm getting older and closer to death that I feel that's it? But it's also the same reason I'm much more spiritual now, is because I know I'm closer to death. Like I'm gonna figure a little something out before I get out of here.
Yeah.
But that time where, you know, you had these moments, like there's so many moments that everybody was hanging out and you have this memory and you have this and that. But now, like, they're hanging out as online. Like, there's no memory of like, oh, we killed that guy in the corner in the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're cutting out all those things. And so to me, it's interesting. Like we're talking about analog, is like some of the most popular music is still from the 70s.
Yes.
And this is 50 some years later.
Yep.
Right.
And a lot of that
it resonates.
Well, it brings you back.
Yes. I mean,
but even with younger kids, like your kids, what do they listen to?
Oh, listen, I've been brainwashing my daughter for years.
Mine too. They all love the old stuff.
Her number one on her, we just send music back and forth every day. I send her a new song. She sends me, well, you know, an old new song. But number one on her list right now is the Beatles.
Okay.
She's digging the Beatles big time.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, obviously my business and stuff, like, you know, that's always, like, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah,
It's
technology helps the processing part of it.
Processing part of it. But man, like, you know, especially like School of Rock, like it's all about that. Like there's no reason to teach stuff beyond, like, you know, like
it's all the tactile in the moment.
Yeah, and the you know the literal curriculum that we use is, you know, the best stuff is, you know, it's AC/DC and Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses and, you know, everything that's like pre-2000,
right?
You know,
it's
like
not over processed.
Yeah, and it has that. So Annie being from the fashion world, the same thing happened, and it was just a couple of years difference. But we always look at that overlap, and we talk about, like, you know, the 90s were just it's when it happened. It's when the digital, especially in the arts, you know, like she's like, I remember, you know, 97, 98, all of a sudden photographers were showing up and they had a digital back on their camera, you know, and it was like, whoa. And it was like, yeah, this is hooked to a hard drive, and like we can take 10,000 or, you know, 1,000
we can get these
pictures
back to you in like 4 days.
right? Seriously, like now, and we can put it into Photoshop and do editing can take, you know, no more darkroom. So she was like, I remember that, but then also, like,
about just taking your camera to one of those kiosks and dropping it off.
Well, that, right? Like, how long did it take though for that to go away?
Instant.
Right? Well, it wasn't until that there was a phone.
Yes, that could do it on the spot.
Because in 2000, you could get a digital camera.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they started getting better, and Elf and, like, you know, Sony and everybody was making their one-shot digital cameras. But it wasn't until that phone thing happened. And that was when, you know, full photography and video, like, just died. Like, all for sure, that just died.
You ever watch that movie Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yes.
Right? And dude's skiing on the mountain. Hilarious. He's like, I'm on a mountain talking on the phone. Right? Like, that's where shit started going bad with the bag phones.
Yeah. The bag phones. And like the crank, like the war where, you know.
When it became super easy to communicate in any way, including like visual, musical, whatever. Yep. Like, I don't know where the turn was for me where I started really realizing what it was. And I don't even think it was really till recently. But over the years, like you can see, like there's lines like where the world just changed based on the amount of info that was available to people.
And it's exponentially
absolutely.
increasing.
I mean, think about the printing press, right? I mean, that's that thing about like that book.
Yeah.
You know, like that when the printing press came along, as soon as information could travel, it's like you're going to go through a dumb down phase because of what? You know, because of false prophet, because of people that are like, I mean, think about it. Where you are right now, like this industry, right? Like you're constantly now like it's a thing now, right? Like it's an actual, it's a real thing. And like you can make really good decisions that can set you up to make, you know, a living or money or, you know,
right.
And that's only because of the speed of the technology and the information and the desire.
Right. So it has some amazing things.
Right.
But it's that thing where you were like 20 years old or 22 years old and the guy offers you 50,000.
Yep.
Right. You can have that immediate satisfaction now.
Yep.
Versus whatever it is that you can't wait for anymore.
Yep. And that's the progress. That's where we're at right now. And I just think that, again, like for me, that was a grounding. That was me taking my shoes off.
Is that the only one?
No, this is for you.
Oh, for me.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
and
awesome.
so I went old school. I was just like, I went and I printed
Hang
them
up on the wall.
So we were, you know, I go to England, we get this thing all remastered and everything. 8 months later, my brother passed away.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I have these masters, they're done. And the guy over at the record plant, and I was like, fuck it. I'm like, let's just do it, you know? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. It's going to be awesome. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to do it as a memorial. It'll be for my brother. I'll figure it out later.
And how did he pass?
Kev passed, I would call it complications from, you know, 2 lives ago.
Okay.
But no, I mean, Kev, Kevin had he had a bad liver.
Okay.
And that was from, you know, the hard years.
Yeah.
You know, 10 hard years on the road.
Well, what was a daily, like a nightlife like? Were you a hard drinker as well?
No.
Okay. So you were his, like, the guy that would keep him in line.
I was definitely the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, literally Dante was the driver.
Right.
And I was, I used to carry around my briefcase.
Did you guys have a van?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me about the van.
We had a Ford Econo.
I'm going to ask you a lot of stupid questions.
No, these are great. I love the van questions because we had a couple.
Yeah.
And we had I've written songs about the vans. Our very first vehicle was a 1972 Imperial bus.
Oh, I thought you were going to say station wagon.
School bus.
That would have been awesome.
It was a school bus.
School bus, like a full size?
40-footer.
With all the seats in it?
40-foot school.
Or was it like a
we pulled everything out. We built bunks.
You made a schoolie.
Oh man, we made it cool. We put 6 bunks in it.
Yeah.
And then the back was where all the gear was, and we had like a little.
Was it just basic as fuck?
No, it was awesome. We had a living room.
Was it people were handy doing this?
Yeah, Dante was handy.
Okay, so you got a guy that's he's gonna spruce the place up.
He was awesome. Yeah, and he put the 6 stereo system in there.
All right, so it's not just some dudes using it for travel.
Now it was dudes using it for travel.
Right, but
we had a little tiny bit of record company.
But it had some heart, and you made it comfortable.
Yes.
Did that thing die on you?
Yeah, we were going to the first show. We were driving to the Chameleon Club out in Lancaster.
Yeah.
And so we had like got the bus and we were doing some stuff, and it was like tour kind of started like 2 shows in, but we had this show in Lancaster and then we had to go to DC. So we're driving out to Lancaster. We're like, woo, we're all loaded up. We're like, all right, let's go. And we go, say goodbye to everybody, and we get right on fucking 95, right in Pendle.
You didn't even get out of the gate.
Dude, there's a governor on the bus. We're like 35 miles an hour.
No, you had never driven it beyond that?
Dante was like, what the fuck? He was flipping out.
So you had to stay in the right lane the whole way?
Yeah. So we drive
Was that
out
like
the
a 9-hour drive?
It was fucking ridiculous. Yeah. We drove to Lancaster. We get out there. So they're like telling, and again, no cell phone, no nothing.
Yeah.
Call and it's like a Friday afternoon. So nobody's at the record company. We get like our manager's guy, and he's like, all right, well, we'll let somebody know. Dante's like, what are you going to tell them? I don't even know what you're going to tell them. This is stupid.
How much does a tour bus cost?
Well, the reason why we did this was that we were looking at that and we were just like, so this hip hop label, like these fucking hip hop guys, they were like, they play like 4 shows a year.
Yeah.
You know?
So never.
So those guys were just like, you know, yeah, we're going to get a bus, man. We're going to get like a triple decker bus. And like, we're going to have like, you know,
they're pumped.
Because they're doing it for like 4 days.
Yeah.
They're like a rock band. Like, okay, you guys are going to be out for like 6 months. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, you'll buy a van.
You're building a life on it.
You know, because you're not, unless you're selling 1 million records, you're not getting on one of those buses. They're not renting you a bus.
What's your favorite time about being on the bus? Is it everybody just hanging out?
I like the bus. When we finally graduated to the bus and we were allowed to be on the bus, I liked the bus because it was the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like hanging out. And like, yeah, it was great. That was fun. The van was good.
You opened for like Kip Winger or something?
No, we had like.
Why in my head you like for some reason in my head you either
that
played with Kip Winger?
That would be
or
the
you opened
Beavis
for him?
thing, like because he had the.
Okay.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna special request. Ramones, tell that story.
Well, we played. We played.
They opened for the
played
Ramones.
with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think some.
Well, I want to say one quick thing. It's funny you're asking these questions. Mike and I are hanging out for years.
Yeah.
I never listened to Dandelion until probably about 2003, 2004.
Okay.
And because I was in, my own band. It's like, Dandelion, no way, man. They're not nearly as... They were fucking awesome. And had we listened to them, we would have realized that. But like they were this little secret of Philly.
Do you find it weird how some of the people we're closest to we don't support?
No, you know what? You know what I found?
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, like, no, and I know this.
We're also different people. We're talking 30
Dude, I hid
years ago.
Everything from everyone.
Yeah.
Did you?
Always. I never shared.
Even with music?
More so.
But it's like the people closest to you don't know. Like I had that. I went to that art studio last week, and I was talking to my friend Brent.
That looked amazing.
His mom texted him. She's like, "I didn't know all this stuff about you."
Amazing, right?
Right? Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents were involved, but I know I have so many like people and family members and friends. And stuff.
Okay, so everybody supported you, and everybody was encouraging you to get
I think you're saying that you didn't share anything about it with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't share.
Which is trippy.
Did your family know you were on the road, like you and your brother? Okay.
Yep. And they were like, and I mean, my mom and dad were like, they were awesome about all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was.
What was the reason for not sharing your success?
Because it
They
was.
feel pretentious?
It was.
Good question.
That's great, and yes.
Yeah.
And that was totally the reason. Like, I never wanted to talk about it. I mean, it was like Annie, ask her about it. Like,
Yeah.
And Annie had real success.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Real deal, solo artist, like nothing. No band, nobody to fall back on.
Yeah.
No, like nothing. That's all, did that all by herself. And absolutely, like that was the thing, was like, what would I talk about? Like, it would just feel so weird.
But do you think it kept you grounded by not concentrating on that aspect of yourself?
Yeah.
It'd be a lot. You get a lot of smoke, right?
It was just, and
everyone's like, "You're the best."
No, or the opposite. Like I see that. I guess a lot of it.
So it's not whether you get the accolades or not. You don't want to hear anything negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, that's the thing. My mom and dad were awesome, and they were like, "You do whatever you want to do." They took a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they took a lot of shit. They took a lot of shit from family, from friends, their friends and stuff. Like, oh, wow, you still, like, are your kids ever going to get a real job? You know, like.
Meantime, they don't understand your success either.
Yeah, and again, like, that's, and what is the measure of success?
That's
right?
the question.
You know what I mean? Like
I think it's doing
what
thing you love. Doesn't matter whether you're getting paid for it or not.
I agree.
Right. And if you can do what you love with people that you're really, you love and get paid,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? Like and so that was the delicate part of it, because when you have a lot of addicts around, you have a lot of sharks around, you have a lot of people blowing smoke up your ass and hanger-ons that do just want to kind of be there and form an identity. Yeah, it's weird. And then people that have
were
jobs.
these feelings because you could see through it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that something that was innately in you, or you kind of held back?
No.
Yeah.
I saw it. I always saw it.
No. Right, but like when everybody's in doing whatever, you're kind of the viewer from the outside.
Yeah. And then it was like the force thing, being like 20. Like think about ask how old were you when you had your I know you have an older child.
She's
right?
27.
27. Okay, so you were.
She's never listened to an episode of any of my podcasts. You know what she says? Because I'm talking about that not supporting people. She's like, I'll watch them when you're dead. That's what she says to me. But yeah, she's 27.
What a good kid.
Yeah, great
Good
kid. Great kid.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna tell her that I said that she should at least watch one or two of them before you die.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because because then she could really determine if she's actually going to watch any of them.
Yeah, but save her a lot of time. Because after I'm dead, she's committed.
Yep.
The thing you got to remember with Mike, and this is what and we've talked about this a lot. I love these stories, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go back to that Ramon story because that's one of my favorite stories.
Okay.
But in the grand scheme of things, A, you're humble. B, you've always been an excellent musician. And I would love it if you would start writing again. I think inherently it's something you love doing, and I would love to see you.
Don't we all get away from the stuff that we loved when we were young?
Yeah, we do. We do. And
life gets in the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And other, and again, it's like commitments and responsibilities, other people,
But writing a song, it's a bit of a soul cleanse as well, right?
It
for you guys?
But we have this discussion all the time. You need to have something to say. That's my big thing. And I still feel like Willie Nelson, we were talking about him earlier.
Yeah.
That guy still has stuff to say. He's still writing great albums.
Yeah.
But you don't always have stuff to say. But the more you practice it, the better you get at it.
That's why you play.
It's like journaling.
If you play, if you write every day, good things pop up.
You need to write every day. Right. I don't journal at all, but I know people that love it and it works for them.
But wait.
I dream journal too.
But what you're doing, this
is it.
Right.
Yeah. And one eye's dry.
So that's what, I think where I'm at now is that I don't find thrill in writing songs.
But you still are extremely creative.
Right.
I'm the same way. I do creative stuff.
And I think it's funny. I do
macaroni art.
Yeah, macaroni art.
Do you do macaroni art?
Body doubling, right? You know this craze? Have you heard that? Body doubling?
No.
What are you talking about?
So check it out. This is great.
I know they use a body double for stunts.
Right. So this is a thing now in especially in the spiritual world, right? But there are a lot of in neurodiversity for neurodiverse people, ADHD and autism and things like that. They call it body doubling. We used to call it
bilocating. No, am I wrong? I'm probably wrong.
Maybe we used to call it watch me. I'm going to go over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go write a song. I don't necessarily need you to help me write my song. But if you're over here and you're working on your thing, the productivity level of this person, of me, I'm over here. And
just
you're
by
over
watching
there.
you?
Yeah, or actually even just by you being here. And then we kind of we're able to hey, is your thing good? Is your thing good? And then when that increases to 3 people, and then you have 3 people here, and you're everybody's working on their thing.
So it's like group creative meditation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Let's go.
So what I realized is that is what, I mean, it's essentially what you do in band practice.
I was just going to say, that's vibing off each other.
Yeah. It's what you do when you jam. It's what you do when you create with others, when you riff.
Well, that's what I love.
If you went into a writing circle or a writing room.
So
like,
is solo writing a thing that's not working for you, or is it better for you in a group?
Oh, it's never been a good thing. It's a bad thing for me.
Right, because it feels like work. It sounds like when you're by yourself.
Work. It's way too in.
Right.
The whole thing is you're supposed to be, you know, like
you're going a little deeper on the solo ones.
Expressing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for me, it was always that.
So what do you, now that you don't want to write anymore, what do you turn it to? Because you have to get the energy out.
Well, I think because of the last 20 years of teaching and doing the band, you know, mentality and then going into the whole, like, I guess, you know, the curriculum part of it, and like with, you know, group, you know, the higher part of it, and being like, well, how is this affecting, and seeing and realizing that this, like, a kind of like body doubling is really what I do. It's what I've been doing. It's what I've been doing all along. And I watch what I can look at the 20 years of, you know, I guess that's what's
cool. Is this something that just became clear to you recently?
Yeah. Yeah. But and now I'm going to tie it all into what I was talking to you about, you know, from the beginning, which is really what brought me here, which is, you know, the ultimate success that I've had this past year. TM.
Well, and that's, I knew we were going to get there. I think
Transcendental meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's another tool.
And is that something you took a course on? Did you find somebody to teach you? Like,
I went to Jenkintown, signed in. It's something that
isn't it expensive?
Yeah. Well, relatively.
I don't think it is. So again,
right. If you don't know about the value of it, or don't truly understand the value of what it's worth,
there's so many things that I realized, and I'm talking like maybe 15, 17 years, that kept me from it because of what you just said.
Yeah.
I thought there was like these things, and they were all the reasons that I didn't do it. And then when I went and did it, I was like, wow, this is...
How many times have you ever hovered on like a cart for some sort of lesson or something like that, and gone back to it like 10 times,
right?
10 times, and you're like, it's too expensive.
Right.
And then you'll blow that same amount of money or more on some just dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I constantly.
Right.
Constantly. And it's like, and I know, listen, I've also done it where I've like loaded up on some of the things that I'm like, I should do that. And then I'm like, fuck, I should do that. And it's sitting there right now. I still haven't done it, you know, like, I overcommit on some of those things too, where I'm like, I really want to, you know, I want to read that, and I want to try that thing, and I want to go, you know, watch that. But
what in your brain determined that it was worth the money this time?
Just like the drinking thing.
Yeah.
It was really health motivated, but this time it was mental health motivated.
Okay.
Which was
were you in a dark spot? Or maybe not dark, but more chaos than you want.
You know what? Here's the thing. I was, you know, so grief is it's the thing that ties us all, man. It's like what we so have in common, but it, you know, immeasurable and like, oh, you still grieving? You know, like, right. There's no rules to it, but, yeah, and I think grief.
So you're mourning the loss of Kevin.
You know, Annie's dad died right after that.
A lot of death around you.
Yeah, perpetual. There's, you know,
people you love.
Right, and so I had you in that. I was in that mode, going through a whole like educational thing with my son and dyslexia and school stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like a click. And somebody did a course it's ADHD, uh, advantages of transcendental meditation on ADHD.
Okay. Was
And
ADHD always a problem?
ADHD was always a problem and never known.
Yeah.
Ever. Like never, ever known.
It was just people thought it was a quirk of your personality or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Or myself. Like that was like, I always had the inklings of dyslexia, but I had no idea the perplexity.
Was it like scatterbrain? Did it, describe it? Like it's hard
ADHD?
to, yeah.
I mean, ADHD is in a nutshell, I think the easiest way to describe it is, so emotional regulation.
Okay.
Is what it affects.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can't regulate or your emotions are regulating wrong, then it affects your, your I don't want to say your motor skills, but like
your processes.
Your processes. Exactly. Yeah. Like your the way everybody, the way you fire and the way you think. So if you're like,
that's why it's like in a fog or like discombobulated all the time, like where it's just not like, it feels like chaos.
Like or the starting piece. Like one of the biggest things I've seen, especially I saw it in my son, where I was like, oh my God, that was me when I was like 15, 16 years old. I'm like, and it's this, like, oh, all right, I have off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to do this.
Nothing gets done.
And you get the next day and it's task paralysis.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then it turns into guilt.
So,
and then everything like
snowballs. Had you just had enough of it at this point and you're like, I need something, I'm going to commit to this?
Yeah. And that's where like, and there was like, I could see the medication road.
Right.
The pharmaceutical road, which I was like, I see that. And there's total use and like
sure,
but I was like, holy fuck, man, like I've been living my life this way and I need to and it was just something that we had talked about so much.
Do you and Annie do it together, or is it something you go on yourself? And like, what's the first class like?
Really interesting, because it's
like, is it in a group setting?
Together means nothing.
Is there a lot of people?
Nope. So that was what blew me away.
Okay. Is it just the two of you and the instructor?
No. So even better. Doesn't matter. If Annie could have been like, I can't do any of this. Yeah. I'm not into it. I don't have time.
Sure. Some of these journeys you got to go on your own.
And, exactly.
All of them.
I had been pushing so hard on this one.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And she was like, awesome. Because I won't unless you do. And so I was like, all right, let's go. But it's individual. So that's first things first.
Mm-hmm.
It is 100% scientific. There's no religion. There's no.
So you and her aren't even together when you get there?
No.
Okay.
No, we even, that was one of the things, was just kind of like, actually, your appointment is an hour before Michael's, and then Michael's appointment, the hour after.
Okay. All right. So who goes first?
The intro part of it was like,
Is it you first or her, though?
She went in.
Okay.
She went in. I sat in the car. I was just like, I chilled out in the car.
Okay.
She went in. And so you go into your appointment the week prior to your appointment. They're like, it's really interesting too, because they're like, you need to get a white napkin, a linen napkin, 3 pieces of fruit, all different. And they give you this list, list of things, and it's like for an offering. And then they're like, I found this really interesting. They're like, the night before,
mm-hmm.
do not drink alcohol. Abstain from alcohol. And they were like, light. And the next day, because it's 4 hours.
Okay.
Well, they say give yourself 4 hours. Give yourself 4 hours. The whole thing. It's really about 2. And so you go and you sit with, and it's just the leader, the instructor. They ask you a couple questions. They're really basic,
Right.
really, really basic questions. You bring your offering. Stand in front of this little altar. They light a candle. They're like, I'm going to give you your mantra.
Okay.
Okay. And then they're like,
Is it the same for everybody or different?
nope.
How do they know what your mantra is?
You go into a prayer. They're like, close your eyes, and then a minute or two later,
Yeah.
they give you a mantra.
And you can't share your mantra.
Okay.
You don't share it. It's just yours.
It's yours.
Your mantra.
Yeah.
And then you
It's
get
like
your
your
mantra.
fucking what the digital coins.
Yep.
Like
They
the
give you
passcode.
your thing, and it's like, that's yours. Unique
Yeah.
to you.
I lost one. I had one. It was like $100 gone. Can't ever get it back because I don't know the fucking code.
Isn't that crazy?
Right? But you have your own mantra, which is awesome.
Exactly.
And he remembers it.
It's funny too. And they tell you, they're like, you should write it down because you might forget it. It was like Annie was just like day one. She's like, I forgot my mantra.
Does she have to go back and ask what it is again?
Well, so it's cool. So then you go to this first session.
They hand you a new one the next day.
And
They're
they give you your
This
mantra.
wasn't mine?
Yeah, they're like, or you're like, I don't my mantra. So in that session, then you sit down, just like we are, and do a meditation with them.
Yeah.
They call it a guided meditation. And they, you talk about some breathing. They talk, there's
Do they ask what's troubling you or anything like that?
they ask you, they say, why are you here? What are you here for?
And what's your purpose?
And it's based on that. And
It's all
it goes,
intention, right?
and it's all intention. And they do, and they ask you those things. And it's like, I have, it's funny now. It's like now, you have an app now. They're like, oh, you have an app now.
Yeah.
And it counts all your meditations for you, and it's all timing. And then it's got all the stuff from the Maharishi in there, and, you can listen to stuff, and there's all kinds of great chats and all. But,
Cool.
they give you, she's like, okay, so now tomorrow we're going to have class. And so you go, and then that's online. So for the next 3 days, you have about 4 hours.
So it's a commitment. It's not like showing up to a class like a yoga.
No. And the cool thing is that because when I was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
So it was like February.
Is it like a whole week long? How long is it intense?
Yeah, it is. It's they call it a week long.
Yeah.
And so February, it was March when we actually, so you get this time and you plan it out. But yeah, it's all done online, and they do it to accommodate the best they can, bulk it up on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then during the week, it's mostly at night.
Okay.
And they just have you watch a couple of videos.
Sure.
And then you just try to get the flow. You just try to get into a meditative place. For people that are kind of there, it's so much easier.
Yeah. Is it are you able to get into a flow the first time, or is it like very first try?
I found it to be the easiest thing of all of these.
So the easiest thing you were just ignoring for all those years.
Yeah. And again, because I had all these things of what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And what I assumed it was. And it was like, oh, well, David Lynch does it and George Harrison does
Sure.
it. So they must know something that I don't. And they obviously have money that I don't. And just had this constant thing about it. It's like when you go there, you realize they're like, first off, it's on a sliding scale. So they're just like, you can't, we want everyone to have it. That's their thing.
Oh, okay.
They're like, we want everyone to have this.
Yeah.
So if you really want it, can't afford it, we'll work with you.
Okay.
Payment plans. We have
Somebody who really wants it and can afford it will be contributing to that person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's, there's a bunch of people that get, kind of scholarshipy things.
So the first few days you're online, you're in person, then you're online.
Yep.
And does this go on for a whole week? Like how long does
it's like 5 days.
Okay.
And then it's like,
And it's just you and the other person online.
When you do the online thing, there's other people.
Are you required to speak at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Can you?
And then
It's a
there's
group meditation online.
and
right?
then they do a group meditation. Like there's a little bit of class and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've gone back twice now and have done like a couple online retreats.
Okay.
Just like it's awesome.
Does
Like
it help fine tune the?
So
yeah, and then there's shit you can go deep.
do you have a space in your house that is like my studio is my spot? Like, do you have a spot where you were taking the course that you intentionally wanted to be in that?
I highly recommend that. It's awesome. You know, like your place. The body doubling thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Like, right. Like, the environment.
Yeah.
We can always change the environment. So, you know what I mean? Like, so that doubling thing, and it's the same in that. Like, yeah, like put yourself in a great environment. But the reality is, and that's where I really I was hell bent on like, no, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Anywhere I am, wherever I am, at the drop. Like, I just want to be able to be like, I'm going to go meditate. And she was like, oh, yeah, you can do that. That's up to you. But yes.
How long? I mean, obviously, you don't start out as like the best ever when you start it, but is there a moment where like you're struggling, and all of a sudden it's like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
I had that.
And
because I was having what I felt I was having a lot of success.
Yeah,
and then one day I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like the dam burst.
Yeah, and it was like, and it was that weird thing too, because I remember like that there's this one George Harrison thing where he talks about like, you know, like I don't do like a reporter asked him something about opening mind and everything about drugs. Like, I don't do drugs anymore. I did that
because he found transcendental meditation.
I learned. I know.
What are some of the things you learned in your first sessions?
So again, like it's so scientific.
Yeah,
and it's like when you see where you're like, oh my god, this is so fucking. It's just like your brain.
Yeah,
and like it needs this place to truly rest, and you don't even get it when you're sleeping.
Yeah,
but you can get it here, and it's 20 minutes twice a day.
That's it. Like recharging your spiritual batteries.
All of your batteries. Like when you see how like it's scientific. It's like your brain and your body.
How do you feel after doing one?
Really cool because it's like it's energy.
Is that feeling start to fade as you get close to the second one?
No.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was like an energy source that's kind of burning throughout the day.
No, I found it again. So having that ADHD stuff,
that
stuff, so manageable,
right?
And then like any type of like anxiety, depression.
Can you do it with other people around?
I'm now, like I said, I was really like I wanted to kind of push that envelope on like I want to be able to do it in a war zone. Like I want to be able to.
It's like having a superpower.
But to go into my space and be like, all right, I'm going.
And just get away for a minute.
I'm just like, all right. Like I can't wait to go home.
Is that how you finish out your nights?
Yeah. Yep.
So is it kiss Annie on the cheek and then meditate?
No. Because sometimes I'll do it.
She'll get the post meditation smooch.
I'll because sometimes it's not go to bed. Sometimes it'll be like end the day, but like I still have some things to do.
Okay. But it separates you from the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Separates from.
Yeah. And how long you been doing this?
A year.
Almost a year. What did you notice from initial days when you're doing it? Because there's always going to be a struggle when you're trying to take on a new skill.
Oh, yes.
And then versus what was hard then that's easy now, and was there anything that was always hard and still hard?
Schedule for me is that's a difficult thing.
Sure.
Like it really is. I never worked for anybody. I never had
but just locking in a time to do something.
And that has,
whether it's brushing your fucking teeth or anything, right? It's probably impossible. And
it's been the best and the hardest thing about it. Because I'm like, I know now. I'm just like, I and it's cool too because you can look at your your chart, and I'm like, and then I can look and see like when my brother's kids were here, like when family shit was going on. I'm like, man, look at all that shit I missed. Like I want.
What do you mean by missed?
Like I it was just like it didn't life just got in the way. Like I just wasn't able to go and do my meditation. Like no matter, even when I was like, oh, I got to go and do that.
So you can tell when you were stressed.
Yes.
But do you like do it first thing in the morning and then at night? Like, do you have set times?
I mean, when I started it, yes. I was like, I had to do that. I was like, I'm going to get up, and then like I had found that like I had to do stuff. I couldn't do it right away.
Okay.
Like I actually had to have things. I had to do some routine.
Yeah.
And then I was like, cool. Now those things are done. Now I'm going to sit down and do it.
But you didn't have the ability to do it anywhere you wanted it because you needed that at that time. Your skill level required you had to be a certain place, certain time.
Yep.
And other than that, the situation wasn't right, or your brain didn't feel it.
Yeah, and what I noticed when I would go, like they would do like the, you can dial, and that's the thing, like the network is huge. Like you pay in, and then all of a sudden like you're part of this like global thing, and so you can like dial in, go to free stuff all the time. There's all kinds of shit. And that's what I mean. Like you can go. They have very disciplined things. Like all day long. Like,
So
hey, so and so.
How does it help the ADHD and the emotional part of everything that's going on?
Well, that regulation, that emotional regulation bit is like that's everything. So if I have schedule, and if I have like, and your day is just kind of like started, and it's hard to explain because it really does like not so much energy. It's more of like this
heaviness.
Yeah, but like how you were saying, like to create, to do something with like a good heaviness.
Yeah,
just kind of like you feel like you have something, and you're like,
right.
All right, I need to do something with this, but not like a pressure.
Yeah,
you're just like, all right, like you feel motivated, and you go and you go about it. And like I said, like I was able to.
So is the meditating your form of being creative right now with your mind?
Definitely giving me like new ways of like using it and
right. But there's a level of creativity to the way your brain is working with it.
Yeah, because it's never done it before. Yeah, because you're right. Like I've never done it like this before. I've never tried it. So it's
think about when you learned guitar.
Yep.
Right. You probably started out fucking sucked for a little bit, and then next
totally.
thing you know, you're putting it together.
Like, and like all those little.
Yeah. So this is that same kind of learning curve.
Yeah. Has.
Yep. Yeah, and that's probably why I really understand and like it, and like could see where right, like it works for me, and I really like understand it.
But that learning curve sucks when you don't have those skills, and like you got family there, and you can't just stop. Right, like you said, I want to be able to do it in a war zone.
Yes.
Right, like that was your war zone at the time, right? Because
everything going on, the chaos.
I can't stop the chaos. My schedule's
dogs
off,
and all that shit.
It just piles on top.
And I just felt like that would be a good thing to try and like live life, or even to, to pass it to others. You know what I mean? Like that reality of it. So we tried. I was like, Oscar, you should do it.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's do it. Let's try it. And they were really cool about it since me and Annie were in. They
Is that
were like
something normally teens would do?
And that was that thing. I asked them. I was like, so, we're like, yeah, this is something that we've been. And we have a lot of success with it. We have a lot of testing out there, so you can go and it's great. And that's what I mean. It's so scientific that way. And they're like, here's all the information. So yeah, I think he's just not ready.
Yeah.
Like for just the full aspects of it. Like,
sure.
But he kind of gets it.
Right.
And
he's at the beginning, right?
Yeah, but at 15.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's there.
Sure.
Yeah.
He has that.
He's aware of it.
He has the thing that I never, like I had to wait till I was in my 50s before
it's the same with my Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like I made my kids learn from me over all the years, and they were always so fucking mad that I made them come to class, right? And then in high school, my daughter quits, and she's like, I'm going to do wrestling for the school. I'm like, Okay. Like, but you won't do jujitsu, right? And then she gets done high school and she's right back at jujitsu, and she's like, it's different now that you're not forcing me to do it. And I've known it was available to me, and I didn't appreciate it as much because it felt like you were making me do it. But she's like, I actually love it. And I was like, yeah. So for you to have that with him, and with the ADHD, does it rewire your brain where you start thinking about things differently and reacting to them differently?
Yeah.
What's one that really jumps out at you that like, hey, I don't do this anymore?
So I think for me the biggest reality of the ADHD thing was like that recurring grief thing of just like, for me, I was like, fuck, that's what that was.
Break the cycle.
You know, and I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Like I was feeling bad for this kid. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, nobody knew that that's what that was. So like, you know, a little bit of guilt, a little bit.
Does depression come with that kind of stuff?
Yeah. And it's like anxiety and depression are just like hand in hand with those things, you know, and so neurodiversity always has that underlying, you know, piece to it. And that was really what, for me was, and I didn't realize it, but like the anxiety and depression is what went. So like you said, like what was the biggest thing that I noticed was that I was able to, I would hear the doctors or therapist or somebody talk about like unmasking.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Were you holding up an illusion to yourself all this time?
Like, it was crazy. Like this shit where I was like, you know, like, what are you talking about? And then, you know, they were just like, well, I mean, basically, you've been a character in a lot of situations, you know? And I'm like, wow, right. Like I think about it, like, yeah, like I play this part to do these things, to do this, to get there, to do that. And I'm like, wow, yeah, shit, man. Like that's pretty wild. Like, so I noticed that the TM made me like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Like something that would normally make you think twice just kind of rolls through.
Or just, or the anxiety would kind of build up, or I would like overthinking, you know, like, oh man, and like, I'm just like, seriously, like time's running out.
Do you do anything with stoicism?
I love stoicism.
So there's a saying that says, don't suffer, imagine troubles. And that one just makes so much sense. But that's the only way I can understand anxiety is that you're suffering from things that may not have happened or may never happen, but you're obsessed with them.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the what ifs.
Yep. Yeah. It's the
lack of
what do they
control.
call it? It's like the conversation that never happened.
But that gets dialed down tremendously with the transcendental.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like that's what I mean. Like that stuff is like, that's Prozac. You know what I mean? Like that's Prozac to your brain. Whatever Prozac does, where it's like, you know, this equal thing and makes things fire. Like that's what I feel about it. It has this balance that really, like I said, like it just doesn't like require you to pray. It doesn't require you to.
Do you feel like now that you're connected on a certain side of it, you're not the guy you were before? Because I feel like that sometimes where if I were to look back at me 10 years ago, I'm not that guy. You know?
I hope I hope
the way my
right?
spirit is, like in the way I think. Like it's just
right. I mean, they evolve, right?
Yeah.
Part of evolution.
Like, like so positive. Yeah. I mean, like I definitely it's funny. I was so I've been a dad for
How old's Dylan now?
35 years.
Wow.
So I'm like, that is what I've done more than anything.
You've been dadding hard. Hard dadding.
Like, right?
Like, you should get a shirt that says that.
Right? Phil, I sent you that thing. I was like, so you were like, you know, I want to go. What do I want to do? I want to tell these stories. I want to kind of bring them out, right?
Sure.
And I was telling him, it was just like, Grunge Dad. That's gonna be my tag.
Grunge Dad.
Grunge Dad. Yeah.
Nice.
But I was like, shit, I was.
But
I was
is
fucking a
it
dad.
now that you're going through this transcendental part? Are you more comfortable sharing those stories and realize the value of them and how probably awesome some of them are?
Yeah, he can tell you seriously. He can tell you he got when my mom passed away. He was right there, and so I had. He brought me. I got to do a writing. You know, he was writing crazy then.
Yeah,
he was like crazy. He was up in New York. He was just in that world, and then like we sat down and just wrote. We just wrote for like 6 months, and we just kept writing and writing and tweaking and doing all this stuff. And I was just telling him these stories,
right? Because you're spending time with each other.
Yep. And I was just venting, and I was like, and so I do realize that, like,
but you're in like a morning reminiscing kind of mode.
Yes, but at that time, it was hard, and I was really sarcastic, and the stories, like, it wasn't that I felt like I had to tell them.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really happy about it. You know, like my mom died and my brother had just moved, you know, 2 years before. Yeah. And like I was in a whole nother band and a whole nother project that was, you know, falling apart at the seams. Yeah. And, you know, that one had all kinds of legal shit. And so the stories were kind of bittery, but I tried to make them funny.
Yeah.
And I tried to make them.
The more you've told them, the more polished they become.
Polished. I don't know if softer or I just understand.
Well, the probably the terminology changes because you're telling the same story over and over again. So your mind is reacting different to it because it becomes a little bit more numb to it.
But I was also a perfect
right. You still have all the experience.
Yeah, I knew nothing about Dandelion. Right. I knew very little about Mike except we made each other laugh.
Yeah.
You know, at the same time we were hanging out. And,
yeah.
You know, we were like, you know, kindred spirits. So I don't think that they were sarcastic at all. I think they were funny.
Right, but you both have a different perception of the conversation, probably.
But that's why it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Because I knew nothing. I was just this open, like, oh, tell me.
Right.
Tell me what it was like to be there.
Yeah. But the more you tell the painful stories, the less painful they become.
Yep. No,
right?
It's true.
Because it still hurts, and you know the original hurt, but it doesn't own you anymore.
Yep.
Whatever that pain is.
Yeah.
And that's happy stories too. Like, like for me, when I tell a sad story and I eventually change my terminology in it and maybe I polish it a little bit so I'll get a laugh about how bad the thing was.
Right.
I'm turning it into a good thing. Right. Yes. Like I'm saying, all right, fuck that. And I made it. It's funny now. Like at the time, not funny. Yeah. But whatever it is better. So now you're telling these stories over and over to him. And they're probably ones you never put a voice to.
Yeah.
Probably like never shared with a stranger or somebody close.
Yeah. I was a good safety like net.
No, it was great because what that set me up for was that like right after that was like the School of Rock thing started. And I met a whole slew of like new people in this whole new world in my language. And like I had to learn like the semantics and like everything was different, but at the same time, I was meeting people that were helping me with those stories.
Yeah.
Because now, like, here's this whole new group of people, and now I'm telling them the old stories, and then I'm telling these new stories that have him in them, and these people are like, "Wow, you need to," and you know, encouraging me to. Wow, that's really, you know, crazy. And like, and then they meet Annie and they're just like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, it helped.
It's like
said,
therapy.
Like refine. Exactly. It's just like this thing of like you hearing yourself,
like,
you know.
When I do my podcast and I have guests on, they're not the only ones talking. Like I'm talking half the time because I'm getting a free shot at somebody who might know something really cool.
Yep.
Right. So for me, it's like, I'm sharing stories, I'm purging them, but when I put a voice behind them, they're not bad. Like, and this is a dumb story, and nothing in comparison to anything you might have felt. But when I was in like 5th grade, I got my testicle stuck in a shampoo bottle.
One,
But just one. And actually, I was like 5. My mom would tell that story to and there's a whole story behind it. But I had to get it cut off with scissors. Like, it's just bad. And but my mom used to tell that to every person that would listen, and it used to hurt me so bad.
Yeah.
And then eventually it didn't bother me anymore. And now it's one of my favorite stories to tell.
Right. It's like your daughter, right? Like, I love jujitsu now.
Yes.
Right?
I turned that frown upside down because I polished it. And now you're telling these stories. And
I've heard that story many times. I giggle every time.
Yeah. It's so funny to me too.
It's fucking amazing. But I it's crazy though. Like, and I know that, like, for myself.
Yeah.
And I know it for Oscar, and like I've seen that, like, and in my business, man, I've seen it fucking wreck people.
Yeah.
And like that is one of the things, I guess that's what part of the like the social justice thing where I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no. Like that's when I flip out, where I'm like, are you kidding me? You're gonna gonna do that? Like, you wanna play,
right?
You wanna be in someone's head for the rest of their life? Like, you don't want that, man.
Do you ever think about doing something where you tell these stories and share them with people?
I that's like kind of like where I'm at right now. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's my bag of goodies here. And like, so next Saturday night, next Friday, Saturday, a bunch of bands, a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
Over in Hatboro, Archie's Big Heads over on
I know exactly where it's
County
at.
Line.
Yeah.
That's my buddy Archie. He owns that place, and so his band and a bunch of other bands. We did a benefit back in October for another friend, and it was really fun. And so I was like, hey, you know what? We should all get together instead of like a benefit. Why don't we just all get together?
Yeah.
And like make music for each other and bring artwork and stuff to sell and stuff that you're promoting and pushing. And so, I told those guys, they were like, are you going to do something? Are you going to play? And I was like, yeah, I'll do something. And like, it's funny. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to play, but I was like, I think I'm going to do a little bit of this.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, because I have the record, and that was one of the things that I've been pushing and putting out there. So yeah, I've been really, thinking of and trying to find ways. And I
get to talk to a lot of guests.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about making yourself available as a guest on a lot of those things?
I think that's,
this is a big jumping off point for him.
Yeah.
To be able to talk about this stuff in this format.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, like to have the long format conversations.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the dynamic can get a little bit where like he stopped talking a while ago. Right. And intentionally, because he's
listening.
Yeah. He's appreciating the conversation that you and I branched off onto for a little bit. Right. But the value of those stories, like there's all the people I talk to that come on here, when they retell their stories and they relive their stories, when they're either putting them in paper or talking about them, there's a lesson in every one of them. Yeah. And that's the that's the thing that people miss. Like when I'm sharing a story about myself, like I'm sharing a lesson, basically. Like, what did I learn from that? Why did I fuck up? And for you to have all these stories, like I'm sure there's like stories about your brother on the road where maybe he got out of control and you had to behave a certain way, but you had to learn something about yourself through that. Like there's a lot of like good stories that you could share. And for that's like another certain level of creativity. And also by the telling of those stories over and over again,
right,
diminishes any pain that comes with some of them. And, you may help someone else along the way.
Yeah. I mean, and you're right. Like just having that and holding that, like, there was a moment in the grief where I was like, this is all dumb. You know what I mean? Like those things those human moments. Right. And and it's true. Like, I know that I've told that part of it, and you're right. Like you don't know what sticks with
Yeah.
Like you never really know what people pick up. And
Right.
again, like I said, I saw in the School of Rock
just
business,
the lesson in the music, like when you were signing, like there's lessons in those.
God, those I know.
Right? There's lessons in grieving. There's lessons in, having a kid at a young age. Like there's so much to stories that you could share.
Yeah. I've looked at a few of it like through a different angle. This has been like really enlightening. I was telling Phil that one of my friends, he's an owner, Montclair School of Rock, and he is he has his own production company, super high end, and he is the front of house and runs all of
Okay.
And so they were local, Allentown, I think. And he was like, dude, he's like, will you come out? And I'm like, I will, because I've been promising to see you. And he's from the music world, and then he went into this and he, got into that world. And so I've got to spend a bunch of time with him. So I went and I saw Tom, and it was, arena, and it was awesome. Total opposite of the intimate, comic thing. But I wanted to see it because my friend, it was his production. So, and they were getting ready for the big Netflix, which was last week. And then through that, like I learned about like his wife.
Okay.
Tom Segura's wife is the one that runs that whole podcast empire.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's like, it's insane. Like, I was just like, I couldn't believe like the empire that they run.
The whole process of everything. Like I'm featured on a couple of websites. I'll show them to you when we're done, but it's like the amount of messages I get every day. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, you want to talk to me?
Because you're a great conversationalist, man.
Well, it's interesting though, right? Like once you pull that trigger though, and you become, like that's the thing. Like this,
but they're all on that side where you could be.
Yes.
It's just a matter of understanding who and what you are and sharing those stories in an honest way that people can resonate with. And if you tell them in the truthful way,
authentic,
somebody's going to connect.
And that's why I love this medium for you, because I've known you for years.
Yeah.
This is like Mad Lib, super creative, on the fly. Right? It's tough to make something that's entertaining, that resonates with people.
Like for me, it's incredibly hard for me to not just fire questions over and over again and let you talk, because I have so many. But that's the way my brain works.
Curiosity and questions are great.
So by the time you're done saying something, I've already had like 6 or 7 different things that went through my head.
You need TM. Slow right down.
I do, dude.
That's really cool though, because that's like, you're. I mean, that's like journalism, man. Like that's just like to be able.
I got a really nice compliment last year. A woman said, "I've never met anybody that can think and talk at the same time." I was like, "All right, I'll take that."
That is. I mean, that's like.
And to stay in the moment, right?
No, and that's the live performance is that you have to be. So conversation is hard. That's why I know, again, like that comics are.
So did you enjoy it?
Oh, I mean, I love, that is.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
But did you enjoy this set, like sitting in here?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Isn't
cool.
it great?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true. You're good.
Yeah.
Like,
I appreciate that.
And I know you, and I know that, we have a history and stuff like that, but like, he knows me. Like, I don't fucking talk. I don't talk to people. Like, I don't just because
the thing I love about this room is people open up in it. It's like some sort of fucking portal.
Well, but somebody
I swear.
Somebody has to pull it.
Yeah. Like people tuning in, like coming from the screen into here. Like this is like my spot. Like
it's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And it's
really great.
For me, it's not even about being creative. It's just being attentive. And like hearing somebody's story is amazing for me. Like the fact that somebody will share it. With me. Like who the fuck am I? Right?
You're the kid.
Yeah. But like, just like, you think about a podcast, right? I schedule something with somebody I've never spoken to ever in my life, and then have a great conversation with them, like just at that moment.
Yep.
And it's the most like in the flow kind of thing I ever feel. Like there's times where like I'll be like, hey, an hour and a half just went by, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's
sometimes 3.
yeah, but for real, like it's that thing. It's like, and I used to love this when I had COVID. Like before COVID, my other partners and I, like every Thursday for years. And then it kind of got old and beat up a little bit, but I like the idea of having regular conversations with people. Like I told Phil, like I want him to come in and like actually sit with me on a regular basis, and you're welcome anytime as well. And you know, just like for me, just the conversation part with no direction is
I love
perfect.
being in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. I love just listening. I learned a lot just from listening to you, and I've known you for what? Many years.
No, and again, like
But,
I think that's what you know, it is that we're like co-working. We would be it is a form of body doubling, right? I'm watching you work, and you're asking great questions, and you know what I mean, and you're this is a great
it's almost hypnotizing, like when you get in a flow of the conversation, because there's no opportunity to stop and think. Like it just starts pouring out.
Right.
And I can get it almost all the time in Zoom, but every time I'm in person, I'm able to hit it with somebody for a minute or two.
This is better than Zoom. It is. It's
so much better because you feed off everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on that note, we should probably wrap up. Well, it's probably a couple hours in.
Well, you can edit a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to do something.
Yeah. The interesting thing, going back to Kevin, right? Mm-hmm. And we're all in talking about age of disclosure and that good stuff. The documentary. So Kevin was very far down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we can end with that. That's great.
He was not a dabbler when it came to mysticism, the paranormal, the occult, and all this.
Head first into the shallow water.
He did a full-on documentary, and I hope I say his name right. You've debated me on this before. David Icke.
Yeah, it's like David Icke, I think is what it is.
He did a full documentary with that dude probably 15 years ago. That is lights out, dynamite on.
It's Vice.
On Vice.
Can you send me a link to it?
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
I'll watch that, and then if you guys wanted to come in again, we could talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love that because Kevin would love to be here.
I'm always amazed at how one-off I am from a lot of famous people. Right? Like one of my buddies, I used to Kevin Cole. His brother is Chris Cole, the famous skateboarder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like my buddy Wilson, who was my professor. Joe Rogan knows him on site. Like I know all these people that are just like, yes, but it's that same kind of thing. So we'll wrap up. Hang on one second. I'm gonna hit stop. Right.